we had a brownout here, and they're becoming pretty regular here lately. And I tell you, that's one thing about the Philippines that I don't think I'll ever get used to, and that's the brownout. I went ahead and just rented me a hotel room, man. I couldn't deal with it, and it being the summertime. It's just a heck of a combination. But thank y'all for joining me. I'll give it a little time to see who else is coming on here. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I actually went swimming today for the first time in a long time. I mean, actually getting in the water. It was so warm today. I mean, really, I really enjoyed it. Trying to see if I can see who all this is. I know it's early for a lot of the guys. Hey, King Arthur, AJ Eckley, what's going on, brother? Good morning. Yes, Roy George. Mark Timberlake, what's going on, brother? I'm going to get back with you, man. I apologize. I got caught up yesterday. C Dub from West End, what's going on, man? That's my part of the town in Louisville, Kentucky. Roberto Martinez, what's going on? It's My House TV. Good evening. Are you here in the Philippines, My House TV? Roger Nelson, good morning. Cheers to Alabama. Before my first divorce in America, I've been married twice. My first divorce from my American wife, we owned 3 acres down in Elkmont, Alabama, a little city outside of Athens, Alabama, man. I love it down there too. She got that, but that's okay as long as, it's a stipulation that she can't sell it. It's for my kids. D, what's going on, man, from New Orleans? What is Mark cooking? Hey, good morning. Dennis Antonio, good evening. Fitzroy George, I know it's probably evening for you. Yeah, it's 9:30 here. Frederick Mason, what's going on from North Carolina? Good morning, man. Well, I got a few people on here, man. I just want to thank y'all so much for 15,000 subs, man. I can't believe it. I'm really, really happy, man, with the way things are going. And, keeping with that, Sunshine Shoulders, one of the promises I made was as my channel grew, I was going to help more struggling Filipinos during the pandemic. So what I decided to do was for the next 36 days, because April 27, 2021 marks their quincentennial, their 500th anniversary of the victory of Lapu-Lapu over Ferdinand Magellan. It was called the Battle of Mactan. We're going to give away 500 pesos to each, 500 pesos every day to one of my Filipino subscribers. And that's on top of the 1,000 pesos we give out every Friday. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let me go back here and get some of these. Roberto, is that Correlia? Good morning. Enrique Ruiz, hope all is well with you and the family. Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Aaron says good morning from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Wow. And that's one of the places I'd love to visit. What's Mark cooking? He said, I grew up in the Highlands. Wow, man, yeah. I love the Highlands over there in Louisville. Who is this? Mary Grace says, good morning. Good morning. She says, why you call Sunshine Shoulder, sir? Well, I just wanted to spread a little light into this dark pandemic, man, that was going on at the time. And I heard the John Denver song playing, and I decided to call it Sunshine Shoulders. You know, sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Hey, Dennis Antonio, thank you for that super sticker, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I called it Sunshine Shoulder. You know, we wanted to bring a little light in places where only darkness used to be. And so far, so good. You know, the people are showing me love. I'm showing them love back. I don't even want a pat on the back. I'm doing it. You know, somebody did it for me, and it's a lot of, you know, really, you know, Sunshine Shoulders, I cannot meet the need, guys, to be honest with you. The need is just too great for one person, but I'm just doing what I can do in my little space. Hey, Pat Mannion, what's going on? He's from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Wow, I know it's cold up there. Robert Aurelia says, good morning from Ohio. Hope to be going that way soon. Yeah, I used to live in Cincinnati, man. I lived in Cincinnati for 6 years. I really enjoyed it. AJ Eckley says your upper body G-string should be there by April 5th. Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad you call it that, man, you know, because people get on my case when I call them wife beaters, but this is what they called them back in my day, you know, the little tank tops. Julius says, good morning from Mexico. I'm curious, have you ever been to Thailand? Curious what you think is different between there and the Philippines. I have yet to go to Thailand, Julius. I don't know if you've ever heard my story before, but after my divorce, when I walked out of my divorce, I left with $20,000. That was it. She got everything else. And I decided to take a trip around the world. And the first place on my list was the Philippines. And then it was supposed to be in Perth, Australia, then New Zealand, then work my way on back around. But I came to the Philippines. I never went anywhere else. And that's a true story. I never went anywhere else, man. I liked it here so much. Susan Whitney says, good evening, brother, from Baguio City. Wow, you're up late. I know it feels good there. I needed that cool weather today. I about burnt up until we came to the hotel. And you know, here I'm going to do a video on this hotel. It's called the Ma Awani Hotel here. It's a really nice hotel, but it's really called Maria Awani Hotel. That's the name of the owner. They're running a special, actually giving, the first time I stayed here, they gave me 30% off, but I think because it's a brownout and they knew a lot of people would be here, it was 15% off. And the price is normally $2,200 per night, but it's really nice. It's only a few years old. Let's see. Mac White, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining my Patreon. I've got a couple of videos that I'm going to upload there tomorrow. I appreciate you. Cal Deadman, what's going on, brother? He says 535 in Anchorage. Is that minus 5 degrees or 5 degrees? Wow. What are you doing? What kind of work you do there, Cal? Are you from there? I don't know if I've ever met a brother from Alaska. You might have to be the first one, Cal, if you're originally from Alaska. Hey, Anders. He says, always highest quality. Thank you from Sweden. Hey, man, thank you so much. I'm impressed, man, from Sweden. Monroe Smith, good morning, brother, from Greensboro, North Carolina. Susan Whitney, okay, yeah, all right, let's see. Chris L., I subscribe to a lot of channels, but this channel is the only channel whose notifications I turned on. Keep sharing the sunshine, Calvin. Hey, thank you, Chris L. I mean, I really appreciate your input, too. I mean, you're really boots on the ground. I mean, I love it when you get it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Belizean Ed, when will the Philippines going to open for all people? Yeah, that's a good question. You know, the Philippines had a setback here recently, and you know they've suspended travel for all foreigners and even returning Filipinos who are coming home. Unless you're a OFW, you can't even get in, and that's until April the 19th. Their original plan was second half of 2021, and I still believe in that, because eventually they're going to get this. They're receiving a lot of vaccines, and they're going to get that rolled out pretty soon. Sperling Edwards says, if I was to bring my shepherd with me, is that 19-hour trip traumatizing to her? I don't know. You know, I really don't know. I know a lot of people do bring their dogs over here. That'd be something that if somebody on here sees that question, answer him, help him out with that. Daisy Dude says, good evening from the UAE. Man, what time is it there? Pat Minion says, want to semi-retire there with $4,000 a month, float my ship. Absolutely. And you'll be a baller over here for $4,000 a month. Bill Rickman, hey Calvin, hey, what's going on, Bill? Thank you so much for your kindness, your generosity, and support of my channel. I really appreciate it. Cal Deadman says, hit the thumbs up, guys. It's 99 people, 28 thumbs up. Craig Jackson, new subscriber here. Mabu Hai from Makati. I'm from the Wales in the UK originally. Hey, thanks, Craig. Nice to meet you, man. When everything opens up, I'm gonna have to get up there in Luzon. I'm not too familiar with that area other than Manila. I did go to Tagaytay and Batangas. But I'm gonna tell you something. I was so sleepy, man. I don't even remember really. All I remember is coming back, seeing that tall volcano. That's all I remember. That 1,000-pound gorilla was on me, man. Craig says, if you ever in Makati and need help or a place to stay, whatever, just give me a holler, man. I will, brother. Thank you. Let me see, who is this? Amornio? He says, good morning from New York City. Just subscribed, enjoying your content. I grew up in Cebu City. Wow. Welcome to my channel, man. Thanks for your support. I love Cebu. It's my favorite city in the Philippines. Of all the places, if I only had one choice of where to live, it would be Cebu. But since I'm here in San Carlos, it would be number 2. Because this place, whoever's managing this place, is really, really doing a great job. This is about as well-managed city in the Philippines I've ever been to. It's really, it's really nice here. Mr. Vegas, 6:38 a.m. in Vegas. Calvin Smith, I'm hearing they put a ban on alcohol there till April 5th. Yeah, I think that's in Manila. But not here. I see people drinking like crazy here in San Carlos. Jeff Harley, what's up, brother? Cal Debney, oh, he says, I'm retired. Okay. Now, you from there, Cal? Criselle says, Alaska is a dream destination. I flew in, well, we fly over Alaska coming from Chicago to the Philippines. What's this? Bob Bratton says, salute. I'm in Montreal, Quebec. Wow, much love. Good job you do. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Marcus G, hi, finally caught your live stream. Been watching your channel recently. I was in the Navy too, nuke reactor operator. Yeah, man, I tell you. I was on the USS John F. Kennedy, and every now and then we'd get some nuclear weapons from what I was heard, because I was all over that. Cal Debman says, I'm from Texas, lived here for 45 years. Time to go. Man, you look young, man. when you send me that picture. Belizean Edwin says, Calvin here in Houston, Texas. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, man. I was in, is that Baytown, Texas, or Bayville? I was working on what do you call it? One of those oil refineries, yeah. Patrick Gian Musta. What's going on? Kuma Star, brother. Anton Williford says, what's up from Magalan? Is that here in the Philippines? And again, if you just joined us, man, I want to thank everybody here for the 15,000 subscriptions, man. I mean, it's blown my mind. I can't believe it. I'm just so thankful, man, that we were able to reach so many people, man. I mean, really. And if you're on here and you a new vlogger or vlogger to be, man, just stay with it. I tell you. If you got something to say, man, there's people out here that are going to listen. Mac White said, congratulations on getting 15,000, man. I tell you, if it wasn't, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is what keeps me humble. If it wasn't for my viewers and subscribers, man, I'd be nothing. So, you know. Hey, Pat Kearns, good morning from Ireland. Yeah, happy belated St. Patrick's Day. Do y'all celebrate St. Patrick's Day over there? I mean, in America, we celebrate everybody else's holidays. You know, we'll melting pot over there. That's one crazy dude said, Calvin, we can only see your head. Yeah, see, I've got my kids here, they're asleep. Let me cut on the light. Yeah, they're asleep over there. And oh, Cal Dedman said came here in 1976 with the military. Yeah, they'll be asleep. Aaron says the band is in parts of Luzon. Oh, okay. And I don't blame him, man. Keep that on. Scandari TV live on different time. Yeah, I did this today because we had a brownout, man. I couldn't take it at 9:30. I was glad they let me check in here early. James Lyons, what's up, brother Calvin? Good to be with you again. Why this time change? Is this going to be a regular change or what? No, we had a brownout, James, and you know, it's the summer, and I mean, it's hot here. It's not like the summer in America. I mean, it's extremely hot here. And we didn't have any power, so you wouldn't have been able to see me anyway in my house. So I just moved. This is just one time I couldn't do that. And usually, see, this is my bedtime. I'm asleep already. I go to bed early ever since I was a little boy. I go to bed early and get up early. Mac White says alcohol banned in Pampanga, Angeles City. Checkpoints are back. Wow. Yeah, I notice here everybody's in every restaurant, they put up the plastic again. But they removed the plastic from the tricycles. That's what's kind of confusing here. But I won't be traveling anywhere until it settles back down, because I'm going to be honest with you. Yesterday, and I've got some stuff here, some questions and stuff here. Yesterday, it was almost 8,000 cases, 8,000 new cases in the Philippines, and I was shocked. I was really shocked, man. And I just can't, you know, I can't understand it. But I guess this is just that third wave, the second or third wave here. I think the fourth wave is in America. Yeah, Cal Devin says he's 66. Wow, man, you look young. You look younger than me. I thought you were in your 40s, man. Patrick Guillen says Cebu feels like a different country apart from everywhere else in the Visayas. It does. I mean, it's just, Cebu is a mix because, you know, it's that main city that everybody in the Visayas comes to looking for a new life. Look, you know, it's the Manila of the Visayas, and I mean, the traffic's even getting that way too. The last time I was in Cebu, which would have been, let's see, 2020, because right before the pandemic, me and my girlfriend, we met up in Cebu. I was coming from Ormoc City, visiting some friends, and she met me at the pier. And we had a good time in Cebu, and then we just came, we rode a van from Cebu to Toledo, Cebu, and then the Fast Cat, it's a 45-minute ride from Toledo to San Carlos. But yeah, Patrick Guillen, I love Cebu. I mean, really, I do. Adolph challenges, what about the water, crime, and do they like and respect black people? Okay, the water is hard here in the Philippines. I mean, that's why I tell guys to bring, you know, some good lotion. I don't care if you don't use lotion at home. You're gonna need it over here. The water is hard. It's got a lot of chemicals and stuff in it. And when you take a shower and you walk out of there, man, you feel like, man, you're getting ready to crack and just into a million pieces. And I'm telling you this, I don't know why, but it's just been like that here. When I first started coming here, I didn't notice it, but I notice it now. And you can't drink it out of the tap water, but they've got water refilling stations everywhere. The water's good. And also, you know, of course, you can buy bottled water. And he says, yeah, the crime here in San Carlos, this is one of the reasons why I'm not going to move. I was going to move, and then I decided, I said, you know what, I'm not going to move. I may end up moving into a bad area, man. This San Carlos, I'm going to tell you something, man. It's a unicorn. It's a beautiful place. It's well managed, you know. And this is basically zero crime. And, of course, they like and respect black people. You know, in all of my videos, I tell people, I said that the Philippines, you know, it's one of the very few remaining places where they're going to judge you by your character. I promise you, man. It's not something I'm making up. Now, are they kind of intrigued by me? Yes, in all these years, you know, because you got to realize a lot of, you know, Filipinos, they love the black culture, the sports and the singing, and, you know, they love the culture. And, yeah, they're more intrigued by you than anything. But, no, they don't treat me. I've never felt as welcome here as I, you know, have anywhere in the world. I mean, even at home. It's just how it is, man. It's just something that you're going to like that here. You know, they look at all foreigners like that. You know, believe it or not, man, there's people here who have never seen a foreigner before. Remember I tell you about the mountains and the certain provinces? Eminem Journey says, hit the thumbs up. Eli Deason, what's going on? JB's checking in from Nashville, waiting on my Cracker Barrel breakfast. Wow, and enjoying the nitty gritty. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I love the pancakes at the Cracker Barrel. When I was starting out in my insurance business, my manager used to take me to Cracker Barrel in Lexington, Kentucky. That was my territory. Even though I lived in Louisville, I agreed to take the territory in Lexington, Kentucky. It turned out to be a blessing. I'm from Lexington, but we moved to Louisville when I was 4 years old, and the people there, man, they accepted me. I mean, I went straight to the top, won the President's Award, the Olympic Award, the gold medal. Every award you could win in that company, I won in my first year. And it was because of the good people in Lexington, Kentucky. They made it seem so easy. And people thought it was a fluke until I did it again the next year. And then I went on my own. I've been on my own ever since. But shout out to Wayne Tipton. I know you're not watching, but he taught me everything that I needed to know in the insurance business. It's why I'm sitting here today. If it wasn't for him, you know, because of all the people, I never should have been an insurance agent, man. I'm just too bashful, especially when it comes to meeting new people. But, I mean, he took me by the hand. He showed me what to do. Anton says Magalon is in Luzon, about 30 minutes from Angeles City. See, I've never been to Angeles City because I was, I was real crazy. My thinking was messed up about Angeles City. I only thought about one thing, and I was like, man, I'm not going to Angeles City. I don't want to be around that foolishness. But there's more to Angeles City than what I'm aware of. Eli Deaton says, been subscribed since 1000. Proud of what you're doing. Shout out from New Jersey. Thank you, Eli, man. It's because of great people like you. Really, man, I'm serious. Bob Gratton says, one hope soon I would love to go and share some friendship with Filipinos. Jesus Francus is there, a French people. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lamont Smith, for that super chat. He said, what's up, Calvin? He says, I'm work getting some overtime, enjoying your live. Hey, thanks, Lamont Smith, also known as Demetrius Smith, man. You, I really, really appreciate it, man. Let's see. I'm getting better at this live. I'm just going back and trying to not to skip anything. It's a lot of people that be on here from time to time, so y'all bear with me. But the exchange rate too. Somebody asked me what the exchange rate is. It's 48.67 today, and that's encouraging because 2 weeks ago, a little bit less than 2 weeks ago, it was 48.03 and sliding. But now it's staying somewhere around 48.5, 48.6, which is good. Hey, Keith Santos says, I'm about to be med board out. I hope I get a high percentage. Still waiting for my reviews so I can do the same thing and move there. I have not relaxed in the Army for 12 years. Wow. Hey, thanks for your service, brother. I appreciate that. Wayne Dean says, Buenos Dias, Calvin. San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Wow. Born in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. We have a lot in common. Enjoying retirement here just like you are. I love Mexico, Wayne. I've been to Playa del Carmen, was the first place I ever went, and the people treated me just like they treat me here. I don't know if it's because I was on a resort or not, but those people, the Mexican people, man, I mean, they're nothing like what they're portrayed to be in the media in America. And I tell you, me and my wife at the time, we had the best time. I mean, really. And then I went to Cancun 2 months before I came here. I love Mexico. The beaches are just so beautiful. What's Mark cooking? Army, 11 years here. Wow. You still in the Army, Mark? C-Dub says, where's that beautiful baby girl? Oh, man, she sleep. That swimming pool, she went swimming today. It wore her out. Red Jam Rock, Calvin, you're putting in the work, brother. Getting to 15,000 was no fluke. Hey, thanks, Red Jam Rock. No, I love what I'm doing. You guys, you women and men, that give me a purpose. And I enjoy it, so it's not really work. To be honest with you. Rookim says, hello, my son got a job. I guess he's in Louisville, Kentucky. Getting kind of wild there nowadays. Yeah, it's been wild, believe it or not. And I'm heartbroken. You know, my daughter's, the father of her children, she's got 3 children. He was killed, man. He was 28 years old. And, you know, I didn't like his lifestyle, but he wasn't no gangster for real, no real life gangbang or nothing. You know, he probably just got killed over some gang signs. And it was really sad. I believe it, man. Jim Fee says, overall, you really happy being in the Philippines? Absolutely. I mean, this is not, I'm not putting on some kind of show, man. I'm as happy as I've ever been. And there's a lot of things involved, but it's really the people, man. And then, like I said, the combination of that climate, the cost of living, you know, and I've got a beautiful woman. I'm talking about inside and out. She's intelligent. She's a wonderful mother, man. And that goes at the top of my list as you get older. I look at how women treat their children, and that's criteria for me. But yeah, the Philippines is really, really a nice place. And, you know, if you're somebody, I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, sorry, I'm back. It may have something to do with this brownout. But yeah, you could have it all in the Philippines. If you like the fast life, it's here. I mean, you can, living in Manila and Cebu is nothing to shake a stick at. You know, it's like living in Chicago or LA or one of them places, you know. You can be somewhere in the middle, Dumaguete, Davao, you know, Bacolod, Iloilo, or you can break it all the way down and slow it all the way down, like San Carlos City and a lot of these little municipalities around in the Philippines. But yeah, I'm generally happy here. It's true. Let's see what we got. Oh, well, I'm way back. Craig Jackson says, I've been here for 5 years now. I've stuck to Manila until the time comes that I can move out to the province. Yeah, I hear you, man. You know, it just depends on, I don't know what's going on, guys. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on. Then again, I'm using my data because the Wi-Fi here at this hotel is really crazy. But I love pancakes, and Jollibee has some of the best pancakes that you'll ever taste. And you think I'm joking? Even if it's a fast food restaurant, their pancakes rival the Pancake House or the International House of Pancakes. Trust me, guys, when you get over here, if you like pancakes like I do, try it. Let's see. Bobby Black says, how's everything going from Miami? I'm an owner-operator and travel through Louisville once a week. You have some great material. Thank you, Bobby Black, man. Be careful traveling through Louisville. We just got through talking about that. It's kind of crazy right now. Levon White, what's going on, man? Thank you for your help and support, brother. He said, you're my therapy. You know, I've given a lot of people some hope, man, and I'm thankful for that. I'm glad that I'm able to do that because a lot of people, you know, were like me. They didn't know a whole lot about the Philly, only a lot of the crazy stuff they had heard, but, you know, I'm here to tell you that you can throw all that stuff out the window. It's about as easy to get started over here as any place I've ever been. I mean, the minute you get off the plane, you can get you a place to stay. Check this out, man. When you go to get an apartment in Louisville, Kentucky, they vet you. I mean, they vet you, you know, your credit check, your job. What else? Have you ever been evicted before? Here, nope, they don't do any of that. All they do is if you got the money, you can move in. Really? Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's official. When I get home, I've got 20 Mbps now. So when the next live stream that I do from my house, you're gonna see that it's really a lot better. I'm in this hotel, and I didn't know uh, what the signal was gonna be like in here. Let me go back. The wonders of life makes me wonder. He said, "Good morning, Calvin. You must have caught many off guard. Only 98 watching. Many were expecting you tonight." Yeah, and I apologize, Wonder, because I couldn't. Actually, it would have been last night, for you, and this morning for me. But there was a blackout, and I mean, yeah, we call it blackout. And over here they call it a brownout. I kind of figured that I was going to miss a lot of people, but I didn't want to, not do it. Because, I wanted to thank everybody for the 15,000 subs. Let me get my list of questions. Because really, without you guys, I'm nothing. So I always want to tell you thank you for the 15,000 subs. A guy asked me, he says, where can he get a good quote on some health insurance over here? And I'm going to tell anybody that's in the United States, anybody that's here now, there's a company called Pacific Prime, and they're independent agents. They're all over the world, and they'll give you a quote, and they've got some great companies. And I mean, you would be shocked at when my field health expires, I'm going to get a traditional health policy. It's going to run me about $196 a month, but it's so much better than what I have now, and it's only it's more on the inpatient. It's heavy on the inpatient care because outpatient care here is cheap and affordable. It's just it's going to cover inpatient care, emergencies, evacuations, that sort of thing. But yeah, Pacific Prime. And you'll see one from Mexico, China. It's My House TV says, did you have a sales team? I did at one time. Is This My House TV? When I had my own agency. I had my own agency because I had a FMO contract. If you're familiar with the insurance business, you will know what an FMO contract is. It's the biggest contract really that you can have in that independent side, and I was making some great money, but I only had like 20 guys working under my contract, and I'd say about 10 of them were actually really selling. Yeah, I had a sales team, and we burned it up because even though I had that small team, we were #1 in my area, and I had the smallest team. When I sat it down at the table, we used to have meetings with the national broker representative about once or twice a month. I'd be sitting down with guys who had 300 agents, 1,000, 1,500, and yet we were the #1 FMO in Kentucky. It says, Craig Jackson says, I'm still a young guy compared to most expats. I'm just 30. Wow. Yeah, you did pretty good for yourself, brother, to be honest with you. Johnny says, do they have American cars out there? Yes, they do, but most you're going to see that in Manila and Cebu. What you're going to see over here is mostly Toyota, the Asian automakers. Marcus G said, when I was in the Navy, we went to Angeles City a lot. Many crazy memories. Yeah, that's why I never went to Angeles City, but I've been wrong. I was wrong about Angeles City. A brother named Anthony lives up there in the BGR. Is it BGC area or BCG area, whichever, that big fancy part of Manila. He set me straight on that. He told me that, nah, it's nice up there. Faranger Xbox says exchange rate always sucks with a Democrat president. Let's see. I'm trying to think. But I don't know about that really, to be honest with you. Hey, somebody's from English City, GMS LLC. Will Reese, hey Calvin, a nice Filipino hair weave on top of your dome would look all right. Love your show, kidding. That's funny, man. I tell you, I'm just a victim of one of those bad haircuts over here, Will, and I just decided, man, I'm cutting it all off. That way I don't have to deal with that. What's Mark Cooking says, Remitly only gives 47. Yeah, because, you know, that's how they make their money. See, they'll trick you. They want you to think, oh, we're only charging you $3.99 per transaction, but no, they get you on the back end with that exchange rate. They take like $1 and something. I think it's $1.25 per dollar. I mean, 1.25 pesos per dollar. So yeah, if you send $100, you see how that adds up, and then plus the $3.99 up front. So sometimes it's cheaper the cheapest way, but the slowest way to remit money to yourself is from your bank account in America or wherever you're from, and just wire transfer it here. Now what they'll do, they won't charge you, but they'll charge you on the back end with the exchange rate. But you're still going to save some money, but it takes, 2 to 3 days depending on your bank. That's one of the cheapest way. Excuse me. AJ Eckley says English City is like the Vegas of the Philippines. I'm going to go there. KISS is Keep It Simple Survival. It says, hi, Mr. Calvin. Thanks for showing up on my live. I always read your comments on my vlogs. You're funny. Rookham says, I wish my son was working in Lexington rather than Louisville. Absolutely. And, and Lexington's trying to even get crazy with their little country selves. They need to sit down somewhere. Let's see. Paul HCMC says, hey, brothers. Let's see. John Welton says, hey, Calvin, is Mindanao still under martial law or is it over? I believe it's over, but it wasn't like the martial law back in the 70s. It was a curfew and all that. And, while we're on the topic of Mindanao, if you're interested in going there, you're going to be safe unless you go into those parts that I tell you about. The Basilan, Holo Sulu, Tawi, and even though those places are some of the most beautiful places in the Philippines, you really don't want to fool with those areas, because they're controlled by, some pretty tough characters. And they don't like Americans, too well. But that's a small part of Mindanao. Mindanao is vast. I mean, it's really, really big. And overwhelming parts of it is really, really safe. I lived in Zamboanga on and off for a long time. I never had a problem. That's the truth. And that's really saying something, man. I mean, really, because that you're going to be aware of, that's going to put you at ease. There's so many police and so many military there. I mean, if something were to go wrong, guys, they're right there. That's who they're going to be fighting. They're not going to fight you. The Toronto Skyscraper Block says, Cal Cooley, what's up, brother? What's going on, man? Yeah, my nickname growing up was Cooley because my mother named me Calvin Roach after my uncle, who is retired Navy in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's in his 80s. But she didn't give me his middle name, which is Cooley. Calvin Cooley, because back in his day, Calvin Coolidge was, I don't know why, but, people during his day was naming their kids after Calvin Coolidge. So they called him Calvin Cooley. Well, my grandmother thought that she named me after him exactly, so they started calling me Cooley. And it stuck. And now my sister turns around and names my nephew Calvin Roach. His name is Calvin Gregory Roach. And see, he's got a criminal record and he's done some crazy stuff, but he's all right now. But, you just don't want to have the same name like that. Damon B. Cool, thanks for that super chat. He said, thanks for keeping us informed on the PI. Oh, you're welcome, brother. And that kind of causes you some trouble a lot of times, But I'm 20 years older than him, so you could easily, if you ever run across a Calvin Roach that got in trouble, it's not me. I don't even have a police record. I've been to jail for one night one time, and that was because I was driving with no insurance back in my wild days. And they should have locked me up for DUI. I was drunk, but the lady didn't. All she was worried about is I didn't have insurance. To be honest, I'm being honest with you now. That was in 1993. I almost lost my job. I was working at DuPont Chemicals. I had a great job, but the union there was, I'm talking about one of the strongest unions I've ever belonged to, and I didn't get in trouble. But yeah, I don't even have a police record. I'm proud of that. See, and that's the truth. I'm proud of that. The Toronto Skyscraper Block says, when I travel to the Philippines, I'm going to do it 5-star. Man, to each his own, brother. And I have to salute you. But I left all that stuff back at home, man. He says Dumagetti's old folks home, a.k.a. Epstein Island. But really, it's not, man. I like Dumagetti. You get a good feeling when you go into Dumagetti. It's the city of, is it welcoming people or smiling people? No, that's Bacala's smiling faces. I think Dumagetti's the city of friendly people. I'm almost sure. All of the cities here have the names, James Land said, get the likes up. Cal Deadman, thanks for the super chat. He said, use it however you are doing work, my brother. Thank you. Well, if anybody didn't hear me, in keeping with, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I said when my channel grows, I'd be able to help more people during the pandemic. So April 27th, 2021 is going to mark the 500th anniversary. They call it the quincentennial of the coming of Christianity, but it really coincides with the Battle of Mactan, when Lapu-Lapu defeated the Spanish expedition led by Ferdinand Magellan. And in celebration of that, Sunshine Shoulders is going to give away 500 pesos every day from March 21st to April 27th to one of my Filipino subscribers to help them during the pandemic. That's on top of the 1,000 pesos we give out every week. I'm excited about it. Hey, Mixed Philippine Journey, thanks for that super sticker. Yeah, I'm excited about it because people really need that money. Retired 2019. Hey, what's going on from Cary, North Carolina? Mixed Philippine Journey. What's going on? The Toronto Skyscraper Block says, when will you be pimping some Filipinos like Paul Dog? And that's not really my... I don't knock anybody on YouTube. I look at YouTube as a community. I support any of them guys. I don't care what their... As long as their material's not real crazy. Siri K said, buying land. Well, as a foreigner here, you know, technically you can't buy land. And I don't blame them. You know, but we're getting ready to buy a lot, you know, because, you know, this is my daughter's mother. So I trust her. Even if we're not together, hell, my daughter's going to be with us. So we're going to buy a lot. And we're going to build a small house, you know, because we're tired of, to be honest with you, we're tired of renting. Jose Valenzuela, Villanova says, do you recommend using USAA banking for an international bank to pull money out from an ATM? Store money exchange. Thanks for your honest opinion. Well, if you can, if you have to pull it out of that ATM, it's going to cost you a lot of money. But if you can do it some other kind of way, it's all going to cost you unless you get your bank account over here and then you can transfer it from there, do a wire transfer from your USAA account to your Philippine account. Either way it goes, it's going to cost you a little money. But they say if you get that Charles Schwab account, they give you back all your ATM fees. Now, when I looked into it, I think you have to have a $1,500 balance on that. And I think that's going to stop a lot of people. Hard Bob says, Calvin, can you discuss travel around the provinces? For example, you say Dumaguete is 4 hours from San Carlos. Can you travel by ferry or is that private transportation? Right now, you're going to have private transportation. And that border is open. Because John went, that's Negros Oriental. John went not to Dumaguete, but to his girlfriend's place. And that's Negros Oriental. But normally they have a bus here. But because of the pandemic, they stopped it. So whenever the border is open, you can go as long as you're got private transportation. Normally on that bus, it's going to be about, let's see, it's about 5 hours, man. And I tell you, it's every bit of 5 hours because they make like 3 different stops. Yeah, this is Toronto Skyscraper Blog, man. I'm gonna have to get rid of you. You're a troll, man, but that's okay. I mean, that's just the way it is. But I got rid of him. I hate getting rid of people, but you know, that's just how it is. Hey, yeah, Barry, because normally. Barry and P.I. Y'all go and check out Barry and P.I. Go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. I'm gonna give him a shout out because if you want to see how you really want to live, the guy said he want to live a 5-star life. Look at how Barry is living. He shows us all how to do it. I mean, he really has a great lifestyle. He's got these plants, I mean, gardens, and I mean, he's very well versed on Asia. I believe he's been over here. Did you say 20 years in Asia altogether, Barry? But he's got a nice channel. James Lyon says, yeah, he's very negative. Yeah, I got rid of him, and I don't like to do that, but I'm sorry, but Truman Lukey says, Calvin, just wondering if you heard anything about mandatory vaccinations to enter the Philippines when the country opens up. Many, including myself, refuse taking the vaccine. Yeah, well, see, the only thing I have heard, Truman, is this, that the Philippines is going to have that vaccine passport. So you know, if you read between the lines there, yeah, see, the Philippines and a lot of these developing countries, they can't just have open borders like that. They don't have the massive, you know, regardless of what anybody says about the U.S., they just have massive wealth and, you know, the healthcare infrastructure can, you know, can stand them being open like they are. The Philippines has to be real conservative, because if they let a lot of people over here and something like that were to happen, I mean, it could be real trouble. So yeah, you're probably going to have to take that vaccine to get over here, I'm sure. Unless you're a late bloomer and you come here after the herd immunity, which at the rate the Philippines is vaccinating people, this according to the Manila Times, not me, it would take 15 years at the rate that they're going. I mean, it's really, well, I believe once they get it going, they're going to be okay, but they just haven't, they haven't gotten it going yet. Let's see. Cal Devin says, Cal, gotta go. Okay, thanks, man, for stopping by. And I apologize to everybody for this crazy time, but I wanted to thank everybody for the 15,000 subscriptions, man. I'm just going to keep going and keep giving you the good information, the nitty gritty. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And, you know, I'm not a journalist, guys. You know, a lot of people, you know, they look at me like, you know, I mean, they really, you know, come after me a lot, you know, as if I'm like CNN or something. You know, it's just, I'm just a vlogger, man. You know, I'm just giving you my view from the ground. That's all. Somebody, this is in a Chinese name, says, congratulations, keep up the good work, sir. God bless. Subscriber from the city of Pines. Thank you so much. Hola says La Paz Ilo. He says, are you a veteran? I am. U.S. Navy, I'm proud of it. Phil in the Philippines says, I really enjoy your channel. Thank you. It means a lot, Phil. I appreciate it. Joe Robbins says, Calvin is hola. Calvin, are you a veteran? Yes, I am. Ozzy 411 says, that sucks. The governor of Florida said he would not do any vaccine passports. It's controversial. I tell you that. That's real. The Dre Diggity Show says, what's up, Calvin? What's up, Dre? Yeah, it's real controversial, but, you know, a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these developing countries, they really have no choice. They have to be real conservative with it because they don't have the infrastructure, really, to believe it or not. Okay. Cal Devin says, I'm not leaving till you leave. I'm retired. That was for the troll. I hear you, man. Y'all got rid of him. Craig Jackson, don't get me wrong. I'm not rich, nor have I done well for myself. I'm half Filipino, and I made the decision at 25 that I would come make a life for myself here. I still have a long way to go, man. Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you, though, you know, my hat's off to you, Craig, to be honest with you. You probably made a good decision, and you can always go, you know, you can always go back home, man, if it don't work out. Reevaluate and come back, but I tip my hat to you, you know, to be honest with you. I wish I could have, but no, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm glad things worked out the way they did, but I'm glad I was able to come here and retire at 55 because I wanted to be able to enjoy myself. But however old you are when you get here, man, it's still, you're still going to get the same love, really, to be honest. But I'm just glad that I was able to get here when I did. I'm not going to complain. Hey, James Lyons, thanks for the super chat. He says, hey, Calvin, I know you have girls, but this seems like a concentrated effort to attack men by women in this feminist movement. Do you agree? Absolutely, I agree. It's all over TV now. And, you know, like one of my subscribers says, you know, I guess it's going to get its 15 minutes of fame and then move on. I hope. But I did a video on it yesterday, and I'm gonna tell you, man, the way that they're, the spotlight is on Asian women now. Even though they were talking, to a lot of Asian American women, they're speaking for all Asian women. The spotlight's on them, and you're going to be scrutinized as, coming over here, being over here, and, by that Western media. And it's just something that, you better prepare yourself for eventually. I hope I'm wrong on this, but I tell you, every time you look in the news, on the newspaper, Yahoo, any of them, it's a story on Yahoo now, about, life as an Asian woman and, the troubles that they experience. And I'm not discounting that. That's not what I'm saying. But a guy like me who happens to date Asian women, I'm going to catch hell about it, especially if you're in the Philippines or Thailand, because we're abusing our power, our Western power, and taking advantage of these women over here. They don't realize that these women over here are taking advantage of us, really. I mean, they're not pushovers for real over here. We think they are. I got a video. It's called Filipinos Are Easy, but the video is saying anything but that. They want you to think they're easy, and it's like a trap. A lot of times. It's like a trap, guys. It really is. They say, you say, man, that's easy. Let me go in there, and then boom, they got you. And it's too late. You're in the grip. Yeah, it's almost like having a drug addiction or alcohol problem when you get over here. Let's see. Thomas says, thank you for your answer, Calvin. Just wondering how long it took you to get used to the roosters. Yeah, well, you never get used to that, Thomas. I mean, Truman. I promise you, you don't get used to that. It's like the elephant in the room, man. You just learn to talk around it. And you get good at that, though. I get good at that. One guy actually complimented me on that. Sean Johnson says, I only have $800 a month. I want to go to the Philippines. What's your thoughts? Do you have any savings? Right now, during the pandemic, if you was here now, I'd say you could. I mean, you really could anyway. It just depends on how you live, where you live. Again, excuse me, there's no right or wrong answer for this budget. I always say it, budgets are like assholes. We all got one. And then one guy says, yeah, budgets are like assholes. Some are tighter than others. There's no right or wrong. It just depends on where you live, how you live. My rent is $173. My water bill is about $6. And then my electric bill is about $40. So you're only talking about $225. But then you got to eat. You got to, your daily activities of life. But I know people who are living here for that amount. Would I try to do it in Metro Manila or Cebu? No. But you can do it. It just depends, but if you come over here, you're going to have a partner. That's for sure. I mean, you may not originally come over here and have a partner, but eventually you will. Mixed Philippine Journey says, I love the roosters. Ha ha, it's the tricycle noise that pisses me off. And I tell you, yeah. And see, that's another thing. They need to regulate these tricycles over here, because some of them you get in, man, they're so nice. And you be like, man, I could ride in this thing all day. And then some of them, man, it's like a rolling wreck, really. I mean, I'm constantly hitting the top of my head. They're too small. The front wheels wobbling like that. And some of them need to just be thrown in the scrap heap. But a lot of them are really nice. Now, if you could get over here and get lucky enough to get a license to have one of those tricycles, now that would be a good business to have. You'd be in the background, and the guy would just pay you every day. You get you a fleet of them, because, That's the mode of transportation over here. Let's see. Michael Dorsonville says, hey, Calvin, what's going on, man? Congratulations on your 50th. I gotta wait. You're so stupid. Larry Fournier says he left the United States 20 years ago. He loves the Caribbean life. I don't blame you, man. Sean Johnson says, I've got $2,500 cash saved. Yeah, keep saving. If you're gonna be at that 800, I would bring at least 10,000 at least. You know, that'll give you a year's cushion on that $800. See, but like I said, it's guys over here to do it. It just depends on what kind of lifestyle you got. You could absolutely live here for 800. Because I'm gonna tell you, Wells Family Journey says it right. He says you also need to set aside money for emergencies. So the 800 would be tight. It'd be tight, but you could do it. Edward Walter says, what's the best way to transfer money from USA to Philippines? When you're in the Philippines, my SSA going into my bank. Yeah, probably the best way is to open up an account over here and wire it. It takes a couple of days, but it's the cheapest. Now, is it really the best way? I'm going to say no, because you got to wait that couple of days. The best way would just be to use one of the remittance services like Remitly, Western Union, what's the other one? Zoom. Or you could do the ATM if they're not going to charge you ATM fees on your end, because they're going to charge you over here. You're going to get hit with $5 over here every time you go there. I mean, I haven't used an ATM in a long, long time, but that was one of the mistakes I made when I was coming over here. There's no telling, I promise you, I was probably spending at least, and this is a lot of money over here, at least $100 a month on ATM fees. Because, you know, they only allow you to take out a certain amount. See, that's the problem. At that time, it was 10,000. I believe now it's 20,000 you can take out at a time. But okay, so that's $10 if you take out $500. If you get 1,000 a month, that's twice. So that's $20 a month right there you're throwing away. American Citizen, thanks for that super chat. He says, blessings, Calvin. Use this for the next unsafe trike so he can get it fixed. I tell you what, they wouldn't get it fixed, American Citizen. You give them that money, they're not going to get it fixed. And that's one thing about the way business is done over here. A lot of the business owners, they won't put the money back into the business. It's all about the profit. And, you know, I don't blame them. I'm not telling them how to do business over here. That's the way they do business. But you'll see it. You'll see it in vans. You'll see it in tricycles. You'll see it in those vending carts. You'll see it in a lot of things over here. You'll be like, well, why won't he? You'll see it in shipping and everything like that. You'll be like, why won't they invest money back into the jeepney, especially? When you see the jeepney, oh my God, you're going to say, why aren't they investing money back into this jeepney? The tires look like pancakes. I mean, when you ride them jeepneys, you're putting your life on the line. I promise you that. And I'm not going to lie about that, guys. You're putting your life on the line. But that's the mode of transportation for a lot of people over here that can't afford to do anything else. Believe it or not, Pan-African black men going their own way. A1 Black Man says, 2,500 savings may get you a ticket over for vacation, but you may need steady income to live long term. Yeah, absolutely. And he was saying 2,500 savings to go with his $800 a month. It'll be tight, but hell, I'd come over here for 3 or 4 months on that 800. I wouldn't want to live for, then I'd go home, save up some more money, and come back, because there's nothing against that, That's what I used to do. But I had more money, but I couldn't retire over here because I didn't have a residual income. I didn't have a passive income. But I'd come over here for 3 months, 6 months, go back, come back, 3 months, 6 months, because if you've never been here before and you come here the first time, more than likely you're going to fall in love with the place. You're going to become addicted to the place. That's what this gentleman from, excuse me, guys. That's what the gentleman from Austria told me the first time I came here. And he was right. He says, Jose Villanova says, how can we retire with $2,000 a month from work on SSI? I want to make sure I have money in SS, 401, Roth IRAs, bonds, and so on to retire comfortably. Thanks. Well, over here, $2,000 a month, Jose, is a lot of money. Thank you for that super chat. You have to understand that the average salary over here is $250 a month. But most of the people that you're going to come in contact with, they don't earn anything near that. My girlfriend is a college educator. She has a 4-year college degree. She's a certified bookkeeper over here with many customers, man. And she averages about 7,000 pesos a month. And until she met me, she was hustling. She was working her butt off. You see what I'm saying? See, so 7,000, what's that come up to that's about $140 a month. She was, making ends meet, but it's extremely hard. So if you come over here at 2,000, that's 100,000 pesos a month. Man, you can live really, really good here. I mean, all of that you said, yeah, that's nice. If you're going to live in one of those, in the United States or somewhere like that, you're probably going to need all of that. And I'm not saying not to do all of that, but it's not needed over here. The 2,000 enough is going to be, you're going to live a good life over here for that. Unless you just, just all out balling, you know what I'm saying? But if it's you, your partner, maybe you got 1 or 2 children, man, that's good money over here. You're going to have everything that you need over here. You're going to have either a motorcycle or car. You're going to have, a nice place to stay. You're going to eat every day. You're going to have nice furniture. You're going to have all the comforts that you have in the United States. Mr. Wonderful said 2,000 is absolutely enough. And I agree with you. I'm boots on the ground. I'm telling you, I'm earning a little bit of money now from my YouTube. But before that, and my YouTube just now started paying in January. So it's not like I've been, I'm talking about all the way up until January. I was living on about a little bit under $1,400 a month. Living good here in St. Carlos. Don't miss no meals, as you can see. I got all the creature comforts from home. Believe it or not. But yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. And it's almost 100,000 pesos, more than enough, Mr. Wonderful says, yeah. And I'm going to tell you something. That's a lot of money. P City says, do people really come there to date ladyboys? That sounds disgusting. Well, and like a lot of people have answered you, but I'm going to answer you. It's just, I don't have time to even be worried about somebody else's sexual preference, but yeah, of course they do. Because, with us, how we really think about because I've got a niece who is a lesbian, and we had a talk one time, and, you know, I was just, because I was shocked, and she was like, well, you know, she got tired of men mistreating her. That's what she told me. Okay, so she started dating women. She said women treat her better. All right, but she said something that resonated with me. She said when people think of gay people, all they think about is the bedroom. They don't think about the other 23 hours in the day, you know. And I have to agree with her, you know. Whenever we think of gay people and stuff like that, our minds immediately go to the bedroom. We don't think about, you know, the other life, you know, love, and, you know, and they're just human beings. So yeah, but yeah, of course they do. The Philippines is fast becoming the, you know, a go-to destination for gay. Let's see. Yeah, he says anything is cheaper than the Triangle area of Jacksonville. Where does he say? Yeah, in the Triangle area, LL. Jacksonville has many divorced Marine wives hanging around. I'm pretty sure they do. Mr. Wonderful says, look at the average rent in the Philippines, compare that to the West, and you will see how much you will be saving. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I said that same thing. Some guy got on here one time, well, one of my videos, and he was talking about he lives in Chicago, and his workers over here, and talking about the food prices, and he said, you know, one of his employees spent more in 1 week. I think it was like $45 more than him. He saved $45 by living in Chicago, right? From eating. I said, yeah, but now you take living in a middle-class neighborhood in Chicago, the rent, versus middle class in the Philippines, and it swallows that $45 that he saved. There's no comparison. You know, I'm saying, you know, people will find the craziest things to argue about. I was like, I mean, there's no way in the world you can live in Chicago cheaper than you can live in the Philippines. You know, and there's just no way you can do it. Unless, like I said, you live in that BCG area, BGC. Somebody help me with that. I'm not familiar with that area, but that's a big area. William Wild said, Calvin, good morning from South Park, Colorado. Good morning, brother. Yes, evening here. And I want to apologize again, guys, for the crazy time I'm doing today. But I had no choice. It was a brownout today. They call them brownouts. Here, there was no power. It was hot. It was dark. So I went ahead and did it tonight. Some guy says, yeah, I've got a daughter that's 21, man. She's bitter and angry. Nice looking. You can go on my, you know, my channel and see she's got a few songs on there. But boy, she's bitter. And I'm like, you're only 21. I hate to be the guy who's trying to get next to her, man. Hey, Daryl Tan, thanks for that super stick. I appreciate it. And I don't get it. When you're on the outside looking in the United States, you're like, why are we so unhappy over there when we're supposed to have everything over there? But a lot of the people over here, they don't have a whole lot, but they seem content. They seem happy and satisfied. But in America, we've got the opportunity to live any way you want to live, really. But we're so unhappy, and I don't get it. Daryl Tan says, let's see. And I agree. Like you said, Calvin must disagree with you. I live in Chicago. My rent is just north of $1,000 a month. Electric is $200. phones and internet. So way cheaper than the Philippines, Daryl? There's no way. What are you talking? I mean, no. Way cheaper than the Philippines? No. My rent here, Daryl, is $173. Your rent is north of $1,000. Okay, let's look at this, Daryl. Maybe you're saying it's a lot cheaper in the Philippines. Okay, you say your electric is $200, my electric is $40. You say your phones and internet is $360. My phone and internet, my internet is going to be about $40 now, and well, I don't have a phone bill, so you're talking about $40. I don't see where there's any comparison. I mean, there's no way you're going to live in Chicago cheaper than the Philippines. I mean, you can live in Cabrini Green and still be paying more rent than what you're paying here. I mean, that's true. Wong Hung Lo, what's he saying? Let's see. Let me go back here. William, well, I said, Calvin, you go well with my morning coffee. Man, I wish I had, they've closed the restaurant, man. They got great food here too, guys. I'm going to tell y'all that now. At the Marie Awani Hotel in, I'm going to do a short video for you guys. So when you come here, the food here is delicious. I mean it. Okay. Wong Hung Lo says, how can you verify a Filipino you're dating isn't married? Good question, Wong Hung Lo. They've got something here called a Cinemar report. And it's literally a report of singleness, proof of singleness. And it costs, I don't know how much it costs. Somebody says $25. So that would be like 1,000 pesos, but however much it costs, it's worth it. That's probably the first thing you want to do when you get here. It's called a Cinemar, C-E-N-O-M-A-R report. That's a good question. I'm glad you brought it up. Oh yeah, he says, he meant that as a joke. That's what I thought. I'm like, huh? But yeah, he's right. But the guy was all in there, yeah, I spend less in downtown Chicago on food than the Philippines. Okay, yeah. But that's about all you're going to beat him on. Retired 2019 said, Calvin, I'm paying $14.50 per month. Wow. Cary, North Carolina? I thought it was cheap in North Carolina. How far is that from Charlotte? He said, too much. Wendell Richardson says, because Americans take things for granted. Yeah, you're right. And I know what you're saying when I said, I wonder why they're not so happy. And that's one thing about moving over here, what it's done for me. See, I used to suffer from anxiety and depression, man. I guess it was just in my mind because I no longer suffer from that anymore. I no longer take myself serious as I used to in America. Everything's not end of the world type decisions I was making over there. People over here have taught me so much about life, you know, like, man, it's more important things. Number one, your family, and just, you know, getting up in the morning and living. And I just, you know, they're just content. They're happy and satisfied, a lot of them. Now, I'm not generalizing Filipinos because a lot of people are miserable over here, and they'll do anything they can. They work overseas, you know, they date foreigners to get out of here. They do anything they can to escape this place. But I'm saying that's only about 10%. The 90%, a lot of them stay here, man, because they love it here. You know, they don't want to go anywhere else. This is their country. They're proud of it. They love it here. They don't want to go anywhere else. And they're happy here. Wong Hung Lo says, where do you get it? I think you can get it from, like, that's a good question, but I think you get it from, like, the barangay. You know, there's places where you go and you get all this stuff. I believe you can go to the barangay hall. Anywhere she lives, there's going to be a barangay hall. That's going to be like where all the business dealings go on in the barangay, which is their community, their neighborhood. So yeah, I would say the barangay hall, they would do that. Because when I had to come here from Zamboanga to San Carlos City, everything I had to do, I had to go through the barangay hall. Then they would send me the other places I needed to go. Pan-African black men going their own way. A1 Black Man says, many U.S. YouTubers are advising migrating to Africa, South America, and other third world countries with the plan of finding employment. Traveling financially sound demonstrates personal accountability. Absolutely. And I agree with you. Well, I guess if you're young, and I don't know what kind of employment you're going to find. See, I'm doing a video now. I'm getting my thoughts together about why you don't want to come to the Philippines. But not because it's a bad place. It's because, number one, you don't want to come here looking for employment. You know, see what I'm saying? That's the type of video it's going to be. It's not going to put the Philippines down, but you don't want to come to the Philippines if you're looking for a job, okay? And I don't get it, but some of them do. The younger ones, you know, they'll work in these call centers over here, and a lot of times they're supervisors and stuff like that. But no, I didn't come over here to work. And you know, being a vlogger is not even working. You know, really, I don't consider it working. But I didn't come here to work. That's for sure. And you know, when I did my video on the 5 best ways for a foreigner to earn money in the Philippines, that was hypothetically, that was because people were twisting my arm. Because I say don't come over here and work, you know, have some passive income. Because, you know, unless your work is your life, unless it's your passion, then of course you can do it. It's not work. But being over here, if you have a business, somebody's got to watch their business. Somebody got to run it, manage it. Yeah, because you can't just let the patients run the asylum, and that's what's going to happen. You know, your business is not going to be any different than any other businesses over here. If you just put it into the hands of the locals and let them run it, you're just going to have another Filipino business. The wonders of life makes me want to say, he said, my job there would be a full-time sleeper. Now, you're not going to sleep over here, man. I tell you that. I get up early. I jump out of bed, the wonders of life. I mean, I'm so excited. When I get up in the morning, I literally jump out of bed. Joe Robbins says, Calvin, what local food should I try first when I get there? I want some authentic, local, good food. I would say the adobo, chicken adobo. If you don't eat pork adobo. The adobo is just unbelievably good. That's one of the easy foods to try. Because, see, the Philippines doesn't get enough credit for their food. I'm telling you that they've got delicious food here. It just depends on who's cooking it, really. And remember, there's no really one Philippines, guys. You got to understand. When I was in Iloilo visiting friends in Iloilo, their adobo tastes different than the adobo here in San Carlos City and in Cebu City. It's all different. But yeah, chicken adobo or pork adobo would be an easy dish for you to try. It's delicious. Or pancit, which is good. It's like noodles with, you know, chicken or pork as the meat, and then, you know, with vegetables, you know, it's delicious. And they got different type of noodles, bihon, you know, they got the real thin noodles that they use. They got like 3 or 4 different types of noodles. But that'll be an easy dish to try. Pancit, like pancit canton, that's the big noodles. You'll like that. Shanghai lumpia. Just lumpia. It's like their egg roll over here. They're delicious with that sauce that they make over here. But yeah, Philippines has good food. It's just who you get to cook it. That's the bottom line. See, my girlfriend can cook. Her mother can cook. But one thing I'm going to tell you, don't get overeating a lot of fried foods, guys. I mean, really. Don't do it. It'll kill you quick. Because remember, that's one of the number one killer over here is, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, like it is in a lot of places, even in America, because of our diet, what we eat. See, it's not you smoking cigarettes and drinking. That's not what's going to kill you. You are what you eat. It's what you consume is what eventually kills us. Yeah, the autopsy is going to say a heart attack, but hell, I mean, but what led to the heart attack is that bad diet, or, some of us, you can't escape heredity. So I'm not going to discount that. Wells Family Journey, he's right. He says damn near everything in the Philippines is fried. But you don't have to jump on that bandwagon, brother. I'm telling you, I bought me a little oven, man. And I tell you, it's the best investment I made. I didn't even spend no more, less than $20, man. I'm telling you that now. And it's the best thing you could do, because now I'm going to tell you something else that they make real good over here. Their soups over here are delicious. And see, that'll give you a break from those fried foods. Have your girlfriend make, sinigang soup, or, they just make chicken soup. The soup here is delicious. It gives you a break from that fried food, Wells Family Journey. Yeah, Scandari TV says air fryer and pressure cooker. Yeah, over here, because they really don't use it. You can cook stuff in that rice cooker. You can, they use that too to cook some things. Brian Dawson says, hi, Calvin, congratulations on 15,000 best wishes from the UK. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it, man. Without my viewers and subscribers, I'm nothing, man. If somebody would have told me 7 months ago, believe me, go on my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook page, and you'll see I started my Facebook page first, and I wrote my mission statement out. I think it was like August something, until now. But what I did know was, because I believe in universal law, I believe this wholeheartedly, that whatever you want in life, you got to pay for it in advance. And you got to pay for it in full. So I made a video, just like I do now. I make a video every day. Even this vlog is considered a video. I make a video every day. If I can't invest 15 or 20 minutes a day doing this, I don't need to be doing it, And then I decided I was just going to talk about real life situations over here, because nobody's really talking about that. I just wanted people to get a real perspective of what it's going to be like when you step off that plane and that heat hits you, and you sitting there looking at this beautiful young lady, and your mind just goes crazy. And I'm just trying to give you some red flags, some flashing red lights, and different things like that. Nobody else was doing it. And it caught on. People, can relate to it, man. And it's, I was just very fortunate, man. I'm telling you. That's what keeps me humble. It's not like I'm not no Michael Jackson or somebody like that. Hey, I'm not Rush Limbaugh or somebody like that. And, rest in peace, Rush Limbaugh. And I don't, I didn't agree with a lot of things he said, but hell, he was special behind that mic, and I can tell you that. Bobby G in Denver, hey, thanks for your help and support, Bobby G. I appreciate you, man. Did you ever get? Yeah, and a lot of blah, blah, blah. Okay, not on the level that you're used to seeing in these countries with a massive tax base. That's the reason we're able to do it in America. See, over here, the tax base isn't big enough. A lot of the people work under the table. They don't pay in taxes. You're talking about maybe 2/3 of the population. So they don't have the taxes, you know. Really, it is on the top half that's paying the taxes over here. A lot of the people don't pay the taxes, so they don't have the safety nets that we have in America. And you know, we only have them. See, and that's the argument I used to have with people all the time. There's no such thing as welfare, really, or anything like that. They're taking your money from your paycheck every week. So this stimulus money, they're not giving you anything. They're giving you back part of the money that they're taking from you, which the tax is over there. I don't complain about them because it provides me with that standard of living that I enjoyed in America for my whole life. You know, you can't get something for nothing. See, but that's the difference. That's why you don't see AFDC food stamps over here. You don't see the big food banks and stuff over here because they don't have the tax dollars for it. Who's going to allocate it? Where's the money going to come from? See? And that's the problem over here. So that's why, you know, they're doing the best they can. Joe Robbins says, Calvin, when I come there, I want to meet up if I can, even do a video for first time trip for your channel. Oh, that would be great, Joe. Thank you. And, you know, if you come anywhere around Cebu, I'll meet you. You know. Monroe Smith said, Calvin, I'm getting my vaccine today, man. Bravo to you, brother. I wish I could get mine. And that's a fact. Cal Dedman says, Cal, let's start a new group, MLM, Men's Life Matter. Man, you ain't gonna get me killed over here, Cal. Monroe Smith said, Calvin is the man, as he's definitely down to earth on all of his videos. Yeah, you know, that's just how I am. You know, I was raised by, my mother was like that. My mother only she finished the 9th grade. Of course, back in her day, you know, it wasn't a whole lot of choices, you know. My mother, if she were still living today, she would be 90 years old. But she was about as intelligent. Hey, guys, I'm back. No, it wasn't my connection. We lost power here. We lost power here. I'm sorry. Yeah, we lost power here. But I was talking about my mother, and that's just the way we were brought up. You know, she just told us like it was. You know, it wasn't no sugarcoating nothing. I've been called names, man, I've never even known before. Let's see. We are the ones that taxes didn't provide you with a standard of living in America. America industrialized and was free, and therefore economic growth raised wages and made people wealthier. Yeah, that's true, but I mean, as far as, you know, the infrastructure and everything like that, you know, the government programs that are available in America, that comes from our tax dollars. I mean, and, you know, I'm not going to argue about that, but that's just where it goes. I mean, you know, that's just how it is. Wendell Rich says, Calvin, I think that once the Philippines opens back up to foreigners, you're going to have a COVID card along with your passport before you can enter the Philippines. That's the word. I think I agree with you. I agree with you. And that's a fact. Wells Family Journey says, I think Calvin ran out of data. No, I didn't run out of data. I usually get my data when I'm bad. You know, because I got Wi-Fi at home, but when I'm outside, I need it. I usually buy it for 7 days, and it's 100 pesos. That's like $2 for 7 days. But yeah, you're right about that COVID card, that vaccine card. I'm almost sure you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it here if you're gonna move around. You're gonna have to have proof. That's for sure. To prove that you've had the vaccine and everything. Brian Dawson, thank you so much for that super chat coming from the UK. He says, Bass, I want a cup of coffee. Absolutely. Wells family said we're going to keep Brother Calvin up until 1. I want to thank everybody for your super chats, man, for your thumbs up, for joining me today. This crazy time, man. Yeah, I've almost doubled the time I'm normally on, but you know, my girlfriend's over there asleep. The baby's asleep. But yeah, that COVID card is something that. Hey, thank you, Bobby G. I really appreciate that, man. He says, hey, Cal, check your cash out, brother. Have a great family Sunday dinner. Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Ismail Marsh says, man, I miss the Philippines. Hope to get back once things become normal again. Yeah, this place is addicting. It grows on you. And like I said, the guy told me when I first got here, he was from Austria. I was in Cebu at Tamboli Beach Resort. Excuse me, that's when it was nice. Then it went down, and then they supposed to have renovated it over in Moncton. And he said, you know what? You're going to get addicted to this place. He said, you're going to come back over and over, he said. And I thought to myself, man, what's he talking about? It's too far over here, you know. By that time, I'd come to my senses. And, man, he was right. You get addicted to this place. It's like being on the set of Gunsmoke. The Dre Diggity Show said, Calvin, what's your take on cryptocurrency and what's your take on cryptocurrency in Asia as a whole? I don't know a whole lot about it, Dre. I was talking to one of my friends the other day online, and he was like, well, hell, if I want to go to get something to eat at the store, can I use the cryptocurrency? I said, well, not over here you can't. That's for sure. You know, and that's kind of like, I'm going to be honest with you, the Dre Diggity Show. I think that's kind of like, that cryptocurrency is like computers used to be when I was growing up. It's kind of like for the nerds right now. Everybody else has got to catch up to it. That's just my opinion. And, you know, that's the way I look at it. I don't know a whole lot about it, but, you know, it's going up. I know that Warren Buffett won't touch it, so I'm kind of getting my lead from him. You know, if he don't think it's legit, but who am I to say? I don't know enough about it, but, yeah, that's been a lot. You know, a lot of guys are in my messenger, you know, asking me, can they come on and present it to my viewers and stuff. I won't do it because, you know, I don't want to do that, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know enough about it. Cal Deadman says, hey, Cal, I think you only own 40% of the business in the Philippines. Yeah, that's a lot. That's true. You know, the other 60% has to be either, you know, your girlfriend or, let's see, a ghost Filipino owner. But remember, it's, you know, it better be somebody you can trust, you know, because, you know, the thinking over here is, hell, I own 60% of the business. It's best to, sometimes they'll kill you, you know, than to pay you. So, yeah. That's one reason why I wouldn't want to own a business anyway. It's my business plan. I'm financing everything. I'm running it. I'm managing it. And I can only legally own 40% of it. And then you know, because see, I run into it all the time, you know, when I'm trying to help people. All of a sudden, they get smarter than me. And they don't need my help anymore, see? So, that, you know, I'm afraid that may happen in a business over here, and I don't want that. It could be deadly. So yeah, you're right. Let's see. Yeah, power went out again. No, yeah, there was a power outage here, and you know, Dre Diggy show. You know, he put it in all capitals. Hey, Calvin, read my question. Yeah, you know, kind of have patience. You know, because you got to realize, man, I'm looking at 200 questions. I'm trying to do things as best I can. But yeah, I read your question, and I don't really know a whole lot about that cryptocurrency, so I really don't have a view on it. But people are making some money on it. Yeah. Well, yeah. He says the poor working class American is putting more into the economy than is getting out of it. The average citizen breaks even. The 1% get richer by the second. Yeah, that's I tell you, man, it's just crazy, you know, when see that's the reason I moved away from there, because that's the kind of stuff that goes through my mind all the time. And, you know, I just don't want to live like that. Um, I really don't want to live like that anymore. You know, you got to realize I'm 57. I don't know how many more years. I'm living on borrowed time, man, really. And I just want to, you know, live my life out stress free. I've got insurance on me if something happens. My kids are taken care of, that sort of thing. But I don't want to, you know, it's just that type of stuff keeps you up at night and all that craziness. Cal Didman says, check out Bob Proctor. I have. I listen to Bob Proctor sometimes, but I mostly listen to like Dennis Kimbrough, and I listen to Jim Rome. I got Jim Rome on, I've got him with like some hip hop type music playing behind him. I got it off Spotify, man. It blew me away, man, you know, and I listen to that when I'm working out a lot of times. You know, it's really just good common sense, really. And that's really what it is. Yeah. Juan Hernandez Jr. See, that's the way I said it. You know, he says if Warren Buffett isn't touching cryptocurrency, I'm staying far away from it. That's just the way I look at it. But, you know, I mean, he's only one of the, you know, greatest investors that's ever lived. So he's not touching it. But, you know, who's to say? Bobby G says there's new development on owning businesses in the Philippines. As a foreigner, I just came across this information. I'll dig it up and send it to Cal. Maybe he can post it after he reads it. Okay, yeah. There'd be something. But yeah, I thought it was always a 40% rule. And let's see. Prince Zardas 1 says, I saw a video where an American lists the things why he employs Filipinos. One of the things he mentions, Philippines are not really entrepreneurial, meaning they are less likely to steal your business. Well, it's in the, is that in America? Is it over here? Because like I said, they're not thinking about being entrepreneurial. They're just thinking about the money. You know, they'll get smarter than you real quick. They'll be like, hey, well, why is he here if I own 60% of the business? You know, there's $100,000 in the bank. You know, let's just get rid of him. That would be a lot easier. Ishmael Marshall, I listen to Ronnie James Dio. See, I'm going to tell you, man, I like to listen to that kind of stuff. It's real common sense stuff to me. And it's stuff that my life probably would have been a lot better had it been available to me had I been exposed to it sooner. I didn't get exposed to that stuff until I stopped drinking. I was, let's see, 35 when I stopped drinking. So I was about 38 when I became exposed to this, universal law, the principles, and that self-help genre, really. Even though my whole life I've always read those, get-rich-quick scheme books, and the stuff they used to run on us in my day, stuff in envelopes and stuff like that. See, I was always trying to look for something like that. But then when a guy turned me on to, I was at this business plan seminar, and he came as a young black guy, man. He was sharp. He was an investment banker. And this guy had on a $1,000 suit. I mean, he was about as sharp as I've ever seen anybody, I mean, he really was sharp. And we listened to his story, how he started and everything. And the only thing really I heard from him, really, because I was impressed with him, but the thing that I really heard from him, he said, if you don't listen to anything else I say tonight, I want you to hear this. He said, the book Think and Grow Rich changed his life. And I looked at him, this guy was sharp. And so I went out, when the seminar was over with, it was a 6-week seminar, but he spoke that particular night. I went to the library because I couldn't afford to buy the book. And I put it on reserve. Well, a week later, they called me and I went to get the book. And instead of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, the lady handed me Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by Dennis Kimbro. I was getting ready to hand the book back. I was like, nah, ma'am, this is the wrong book. But I got to reading the back cover of it. And Dennis Kimbro, 1970, Napoleon Hill was writing a Think and Grow Rich specifically to help black people. But he died. And nobody had ever finished the book. It just laid at the Napoleon Hill Foundation until W. Clement Stone ran across Dennis Kimbro, who was going around the country interviewing the richest, most successful black people in America. He heard about what he was doing. And of course, to make a long story short, they asked him to finish the book, and it became Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. Well, it changed my life. It's the reason I'm sitting here today. It's the most powerful book I've ever picked up and read. It's really down to earth. Success principles that anybody can do, things I had never heard before. Going the extra mile. That's something that I'm not going to do. I'm going to do as little as possible, was my mindset. But he was like, render more service and better service than what's required or what you're being paid for. He said, that's the only reason that you can even go in there and ask your boss for a raise. He said, any other reason it's mute, because that's what they're paying you to do your job. We go in there and ask for a raise because we didn't miss a day. We've never been late. But that's what they're paying you for. The only time you should go in there and ask for a job is if you're doing more than what they're paying you to do. And just stuff like that, principles like that, But that's what I read. And it became, I'm going to tell you, I was swept away to success I had never dreamed about growing up in the West End of Louisville. And I mean, it happened literally overnight for me. I started reading those books in 2001, 2002. In 2003, I got my insurance license. In 2004, I was #1 in my state, #2 in my region, which included Chicago. Kentucky has in the state. I mean, I was literally swept away to success, and that I was living a life I never even dreamed of living, man. I mean, literally overnight. My wife used to get so mad at me for buying those books because we were living in government housing. We were living in the projects in Beecher Terrace. They called it Beecher Carter because they tore down one projects we were living in, and we had to move to another projects. And she'd run out to that UPS cussing. Them damn books is here. We ain't got no money to be paying for them books. They don't work anyway. And I was like, yeah, you're right, they don't work. unless you apply the principles. Well, I'll tell you what, in less than 2 years, we were moving in a 3,700 square foot house with a walkout basement, brand new cars, the whole 9 yards, man. And when UPS used to pull up, my wife would run out to that truck. Honey, your books are here. I mean, it was crazy, man. So, yeah, people say, oh, this stuff don't work. It does work. If you follow the principles, it worked for me. But anyway, let's get back to the Philippines. But I just thought I'd tell y'all that, it's the reason I'm sitting here, man, really. Ishmael Moore says, I've heard the COVID cases have risen in the Philippines and they would do another tough lockdown. Is that true? Well, I know the COVID cases have risen and the Philippines has taken a step back. But right now they're saying that a tough lockdown is not required, but that can change at any time over here. See, that can change at any time over here. But right now they're saying it's not required, but they have taken a step back. It's discouraging. I'm not going to go anywhere else. Because you have to ride buses most of the places I'm going. And it scares me, for my little daughter and everything, because she has to go with me. So, Cal Dedman says, he says, those books that we read were primarily good for living in America, now applied in the Philippines. Yeah, you can really apply it everywhere around the world, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to what I like to call the platinum rule. Everybody knows the golden rule, right? Treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, there's a platinum rule that says you treat people the way that they want to be treated, not the way you want to be treated. See, most of us, and this isn't original for me. I read this in a sales book. I can't think of the guy's name to give him credit, but I've lived by it ever since. See, all of us think that we're the most important person in the world. So why not just treat them like that? Treat people as if they're the most important person in the world. It's right in the guard. And you're going to be shocked at the results you get. Okay? Hey, guys, I'm going to have to get off of here. This power is really messing up today. But I'll be back on my regular schedule next week, which is Monday. It'll be Tuesday morning, Philippine time, Monday night, Eastern Standard Time. I usually do it Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday in the States. I want to thank y'all, man, for your super chats, your thumbs up, for being patient over here. Yeah, it's late here, and then this power was not working the way it's supposed to. So thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it, man. Help somebody today, guys. Really. I know a lot of y'all got y'all stimulus over there, man. Buy somebody out there something to eat, man. Normally when you go and you see them guys holding them signs up, man, see, once the money's out of your hands, it's none of your business. Don't worry about what they're going to do with it, man. Drop $3 or $4 or $5 in there, man. You'll be shocked what happens in your life, man. That's why my life is, see, people think that I just started helping people. I haven't, man. I've been helping people ever since I stopped drinking 23 years ago. I bought my wife a new van, and instead of selling the old van, I had it renovated. I raffled it off, and I gave away two $500 scholarships, man, to two young ladies going to college who were living in public housing in Louisville, Kentucky. And that's really, why I'm able to live the life I live now, because of, helping other people, man. It's not a slogan, man. It's something I really do. But thank y'all so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. take care, man. Stay safe. And check with me. Like I said, it'll be my regular time. It'll be Monday night at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, man. Peace out, guys.